Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another GM Tips. GM Rick here, talking with you. Kind of a quiet moment. We got a longer lunch today. We did really well with our numbers this month, so it's always a good thing. Um, Fiance's asleep. Yeah, no mini GM. She's at school. That's a good thing, right? So I'm taking requests, and one of the requests I had was from a wonderful person that has subscribed to the group by the name of Chaotic Anarchy. And basically, the question is how do we select a group or find a group? And how should we even determine a little better? How do you not only find a group, but find a group that fits you as either a player or a GM? And I think that's a good question, and I think it really lends to sources. Now, places that you can find groups, just for physically locating groups, there are several great sources, okay, and I get hit with them all the time. So, what I'm going to do real quickly is I will go to one of those sources, and I've got all my emails and I keep track of these. For Pathfinder players, Warhorn net is really good for finding it. WARHORN.net. Warhorn has it for every city. They'll tell you for Pathfinder Society as well as Pathfinder as well as Starfinder. So if you're ever looking for just a general group to join, that is one of the places. Now, there are other places you can go to find, and these places are important too. There is a group that I subscribe to on meetup.com. And meetup.com has role playing gamer ones for the different venues. Like for us, there's Metroplex Role Playing Gamers. And that's a great group that if I ever need to find a group to be in or want to be in, they have it for 5e, they have it for Pathfinder, they have it for GURPS, they have it for Savage Worlds, and everything else. And you can put a little blurb out there about yourself. So let me show you kind of the meetup.com thing there. You can see it. You can see the people in the bottom, and you can put in a profile. And when you click on the profile, it'll take you there, and it'll show you the profile created by that player. So you can get a little bit of their experience, who they are, how long they've played, if you're a GM, or vice versa. So here you go. Perfect thing here. So it tells you things about them. Okay. And it says what RPGs are you wanting to play? How long have you been playing these RPGs? And what types of meetup events would you like to see posted or would like to attend? And it has a little introduction. And so for this particular person, it says they're located in the city, comma, state, that they're into Shadowrun, World of Darkness, Chill, Traveler, Traveler 2300, D&D, and GURPS. Adventure with Call of Cthulhu, interested in trying Hackmaster, Pathfinder, Star Wars, and others. It says, I started playing them a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So it's really kind of neat that you can find that and put that up there, and you can also find players. Now, where else can you go? You can go onto Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds, and they will also advertise for players. And so that's another place that you can use not only the software, so you can pick up people from all over the world that can sit in on your games, and you can try to find those players. So it just is a source to find people. Great place. Where else? Facebook has tons of groups, tons upon tons. So they've got like things called Lair of the Techno Lich. They've got DMs and GM groups. There's two different ones of that. They got Pathfinder RPG. They got fans of Paizo. They've got Dungeons and Dragons 5e. And you can put a little blurb up there. It says, hey, I'm looking for players in my area. I'm somewhere near this vicinity. Again, it is Facebook, so I do give the warnings that you got to be careful who you hook up with. Get to know them ahead. So what I suggest normally is Facebook has a little chat thing that you can talk with them and use camera and talk with them live. Utilize it. Talk with them. Get to know them. Look for mannerisms. Something screams off, then just let it go and just quietly drift away. I'm not trying to be mean, but you got to trust your gut inside. I don't want anyone get in trouble or get hurt while searching for a great group to play in. So that's the where. All right. There are other groups like that. They have other places, like you can go on to Paizo's website, you can go on to Dungeons and Dragons, and sometimes they have those little blurbs about groups you can join or where they're having them. A lot of the comic stores will leave signups for people or contact numbers. That again, a little more dicey, but it's a place you can go if you've come to wit's end and don't know where else to go. Now, if you're in a small town, small city, that's tough. Um, that's when your online ones like your Roll20 and your Fantasy Grounds are your better places to go. Otherwise, you're really going to be pushing to find. All right. They used to have a lot of places and clubs and groups you could do stuff like that with. Now it's kind of changed a little bit with this age, with people and being wired in and getting to know everybody in the net is goods and bads, like all things. All right. So players, and we'll call it next. How to host a game and how to find the right players. So I'm going to go from the GM side first and then work my way to the player side. Okay. So GMs, when you're looking for players, what should you do? I always like to sit down and have an interview with them. Now, if I already don't know them on somewhere else on the social media, I kind of want to sit down with them, hear them talk. Some are shyer than others, some are more outgoing than others. What am I looking for in a party? And that's the thing you got to establish as GM. Are you looking for, and I had one come up recently in a rules where he says, I had a player that cheated and did this and that, and I had to separate ways from them. What is most important for you? Is it the integrity of the player playing the game? Is it how good they play the game and how well they role play? Are you looking for people that are more a mix? Do you want people that are more of the I've got to fight it, I got to kill it type of player? Or are you looking for other types? Now, again, Paizo does a great group of talking about in the Game Mastery Guide the types of players. I know I've hit that before, but that's important because you as a GM have to figure out what kind of players am I up for. As a beginning GM, you will be much less likely to be handling some of the more advanced player personalities. And there are tons of player personalities. So let me go to the pages here. This is always fun. All right, so the different types, and there are more than this, okay? These just happen to be the beginning ones. The antagonists. This is the one that likes to stir the pot. I call them since many GM isn't here, the shit stir, and they are, and they love to stir it up. It says no prudent antagonist thinks light of his adversaries. So they like to cause the stirring of the pot with the party, and they're the one that will egg other players on and do little things to stoke it up. Okay, are you prepared for that type of player? Are you okay with working with that player and motivating that type of player? The continuity expert. They keep everything up to date with the latest published novels and game supplements, and they're your historical fact historian. They can cite to you anything that's been published, what's been published, what the thoughts are, what the thoughts are on different types of combat, all kinds of things. The diva, or as I like to call them, the center of attention. They want the world to look at them. They love to be in the limelight. They love a good show. And they're that type of player that wants you to focus on them. They could be introvert, they could be extrovert, but they want you to know the world revolves around them. And not in a bad way, they just like attention. The entrepreneur, they're enterprising. The economic heart of all campaigns is the one that's trying to capitalize on, hey, what can I do today to increase the fortune of the party? So they're the entrepreneur, the wheeler and the dealer, the shucker and the jiver. That's a player that loves to haggle, wheel and deal, haggle with the GM to get the best positioning of things. They are the consummate merchant, as we should say. The flake. Those who are guilty those whose guilt lies within their bosom lies imaginary. Every eye beholds their blame, from Shakespeare. I don't know if I love that, but it's a pretty interesting one. The flake is the one that proves their type over a period of time. They show up in the beginning. They're there. They're committed. But as time goes on, oh, my schedule got in the way. Oh, this got in the way. Oh, that got in the way. Oh, I've got this going on. Oh, I've got going on. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't be committed to an every Sunday or Saturday game. I can't be committed to an every weekday game. I can't be committed to this. I can't be committed to that. That's your flake. They come when it's beneficial to them or when they're bored. They don't come the rest of the time. They find an excuse not to show up. Are you prepared to have the absentee player? The glass jaw. These basically have a weakness that constantly reveals itself, and they're looking for weakness, either in others, the GM, the players, the PCs. They're the one that they typically call the glass jaw, okay? And they're looking for, again, trying to find a weakness in all situations. The loner. The loner likes to play a game, but they want to make their player the lone wolf, their character the lone wolf. And though they're with a party, they're just marginally with the party. They're there to do their own thing and be dinged what the party continuity is, and they don't care. Are you ready for that type of player? The lump. The lump sits there. They kind of like a bump on the log. And they have to have a fire burning under them to get them motivated to say anything in the game or do anything in the game. Now, I'll give you another type. The introverted. They love to play. They love to be in a group. They love the surrounding, but they don't like the spotlight shine on them. In other words, as long as it's shined on another player, they'll throw in inputs here and there. They may write some things on paper and send them that way. They are not about interaction. They want as little interaction as possible. Still want to play their character, still want to have fun, still want to enjoy the environment, but very little interaction. The one trick pony. The one that no matter what character they play, no matter what class they play, it's always the same. Always. Got one of those for the moment. Know what it's like. And it is, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a drain on a GM sometimes. And we love them. Wouldn't ask them to leave to save the world. But know that it's a drain on you sometimes as the GM. The multitasking. Got the cell phone up, got the computer up, got the paper up, got another newspaper up there reading, munching. They're doing everything at once and not doing a great job of it. So when you ask them, hey, what are you going to do? They stop for a minute and go, where were we? Type of player, the multitasker. The power gamer or meta gamers. They come in and they want to maximize or minimize what their character can do. And they're about tweaking it to its most advantage. And they see that as normal. And if you don't see that as normal, that's your issue. But they are the meta gamer. Okay? Different from the rules lawyer, who is about the letter of the rules versus role play. They like role play, but so long as it consists within the letter of the rules of the system they have read. And they will be the one that constantly corrects you on the rules, even if you set tabletop rules. The tag along. Hey, I love to come. I want to go too type of player. They tag along, but at the end of the day, they're more of a distraction. They're there to be a tag along, suck up on the time, the resources, the chat, but really couldn't care too much about playing the game. The thespian. The thespian loves to have the colorful, and I know a few gamers and GMs like this, and I like them. They're about the eloquence, the verbalization of their character. They want you to know every detail. They want to bring out and enhance that thing to where life is a stage and everyone a player. But they're the main player. These are all the different types. And then you have the newbie, who is excited and zealous, but doesn't know a darn thing about role playing, other than just being new. You as the GM have to figure out what mix works and what mix doesn't. Now, some advice given, and I really do appreciate this on this type of topic. It says, as you access the composition of your gaming group, take special note of the potentially explosive combinations. GM serves as a referee between them. So, like the antagonist and the rules lawyer. Imagine how that goes. And I had a party like that had each of them, not in the current one, but it happened. And let me tell you, it had many eventful times. Not fun. And so I think as a GM, you have to look at what combinations really work. And at the end of the day, know your group, know what personality type they are. And if they aren't listed here, figure them out. And respect each other. The thespian needs to respect the diva, needs to respect the lump, needs to respect the quiet, meek type. Don't stamp all over each other. Don't make fun of each other. Don't cause problems because they don't match your personality type. And GM, that is your job, or DM, that is your job to keep them harmonious and moving the right direction. Going a negative direction is never good for your players. Okay. Some great rules from rules of thumb from Frank Mensner. Now let's go from the player's side. Okay. Hobbies bring us together, he talks about, and this is a good point. We expect to spend our resources in pursuit of its pleasures. We play, collect, create, or find a personal path to joy. The intensity varies wildly, but it's still a hobby. Time brings change, especially in technology. So there are things that come into play that then affect the continuity of a table. You as a player should interview just as much as the GM's interviewing you. As they're getting to know, as you as a GM get to know players, your players need to get to know you and ask questions about you. What do you look for in a player? What are you looking for in a game? What are you looking to create in a campaign? What type of dynamics do you like? And Mr. or Miss Player, you need to write these things down. Questions to ask. What systems do you like? Are you more about the rules or more about the role play, or is it a mix? Do you find a balance? Why do you lean one way or the other more heavily? Why would you throw out these things? Because, see, you as a player have to figure out which player type you are. So go through the litmus test. Go on to the Paizo website, go to the Game Mastery Guide, and look at Player Interactions section. Okay? You're looking for in the Game Mastery Guide pages 70 through almost 80. And you're going to take a look at what type of player you are. There's other guides. You don't even have to use that. Other people like the EN website and other people have published those, what type of player are you? And then ask the GM, what type of players currently are in the group? What kind of mix? And ask yourself, if I'm a diva, can I handle another diva? Can I handle a thespian if I'm a thespian? Can I handle flakes, people that don't show up in a group? They have a lot of flakes. Can I handle the crapster and what they're going to bring to the table? Does that fire me in a good way or does it fire me in a bad way? And you have to ask yourself these questions. Because, see, when you get into a group, you're either going to find there's a cohesiveness there or you're really not going to like the experience. And if not, there's a nice way of bowing out. You don't have to be mean. Just say, hey, look, I was thinking this was going to work well, but with my personality type, I'm just not seeing it work real well. Bring it to the GM first, see if they can fix it. If they can't, then maybe it's time to exit before things really get too stoked up. Yes, you want to keep your commitment, but at the same time, you want to keep a continuity at a table as well. See, I love this. Rules. We usually do not debate the rules of a board, card, or tile game other than to clarify existing parameters. The narrow scope of such pastime facilitates precise definition. In addition, these are competitive games and someone wins. The non competitive game, which is the role playing game, is a feature unique to that medium. The written rules always attempt to abridge reality simulation, leaving much implied or unspecified, and are thus um, subject to interpretation or debate. I love this. This is off of page 38 of the Kobold Guide to Game Mastering. And Frank Menser, he does a great job of really pointing some neat things out, and he's really dead on. All participants want to have fun in a cooperative game. Remember, we're all trying to be there to have a great time. And if going in, you're going to stir the pot to make it unfun for everybody else, or you're going to be the Debbie Downer or the Bobby Blabbermouth or whatever you're going to be, you got to say your fun shouldn't diminish the fun of everyone else. You got to come to a happy medium that everybody's having a good time. All players are equal, and I agree. No matter how much you love your long-term players, and I do love mine, all players are equal. All voices are important for finding the right game. It should be mutually beneficial, as he points out to all. Actions contrary to the core tenets should be addressed. How do you address them? There's a rub. We want to compromise so everyone gains, but when we seek a level playing field at the gaming table, are we pursuing a groupthink mandate, an oppression of dissent? Think, discuss, and find the right path for the gaming table. Consider what you read here and elsewhere is input only, not rules. All the rules of thumb that I give you guys in my GM tips videos are that. They're rules of thumb. But if one thing I tell you doesn't work well in your group, get rid of my idea. Okay? I don't want you to not have fun because you say, hey, GM Rick said this is the case for Pathfinder. No. Or for Open Legend, or for D&D, or for playing at a happy table. I am not your encyclopedia. I give you thoughts, and I just want to expand your thinking. If the thinking takes you down a bad path that really compromises your gameplay and the happiness of the table, I'm not happy then because I don't want to do that. That's not my intent. Equality is a fine theory, but our human variations make us better at some things and worse at others. This is where the political correctness that we love to throw on the table, be politically correct. Forgive my language, and if you got a kid, turn it down. I'm going to say it. Horseshit. Okay? We need to take into consideration each other's feelings and happiness at play. But if we're going to make a politically correct, neutered table or spade table, there's something wrong with that. And I'm not saying color. I'm saying, like with animals, spayed or neutered. Basically, we take away who they are. And so, some players enjoy flamboyance, other dramatic tools, others not. Some players just want to slay the monster and enjoy the or others enjoy meticulous resource planning. Somewhere in between is a happy medium. Let people be themselves, GM. Don't take away their identity. However, there is etiquette at a table. Respect each other's feelings. Respect each other's gameplay. Don't try to tell each other how to play. That crap needs to be left at the door, okay? Now, sometimes, if the problems keep coming up, as a group, you guys got to talk out what works, okay? I love the dealing with introverts and extroverts, and it's very different. The withdrawn and shy personality often warrants extra consideration, and the topic is addressed in excellent detail in Engaging with the Shy Players on page 31 of this book, and I did a video on that, and I think it's a real good one. Outgoing dominant individual usually is not a major problem since they're already communicating. You have to find a balance. Sometimes you have to draw the introvert out in a way they feel comfortable to communicate. And that's up to you, GM, and players to figure that out. Not everybody loves a happy, 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 party, party, party. They want to be respected. It kind of freaks them out a little bit. So there's a medium ground somewhere in there, all right? But you got to identify those things up front with a group. Are you ready for that? Are you prepared for that? Um, Players are bugging you and rubbing you wrong. You need to be able to communicate that first to the GM, see if they can help. Then maybe the GM, you and that player, and you talk things out outside the game. You don't want to make overly dramatic, okay? Somebody makes a sexist comment and it bothers you. Talk to the GM. Look, if somebody goes, I'm going to bang that chick, and there's a woman in the group that hears that and is offended, I'm going to talk to them. I've got a little 6-year-old, okay? When Minnie comes by and they say something like that, I give them a look. And Kim definitely gives them a look. And they go, oh, I'm sorry, and they cut it out. That's how it should be handled. Same way with adults. Don't stamp on each other's things and offend somebody at the expense of you having fun. All right? There's an etiquette in handling these things. And again, it's not politically correctness as much as it is some people just don't like that kind of commenting. And I know you may love it in a game. You got to say sometimes, okay, do I really need that or can I have fun without it? And come to that balance. But talking things out and working together. I think there's a lot of things you can do in finding these. And these are different points, but they're important. Go to the site that helps you to locate the gamers in your area. Do some research on them. Get together, have coffee. Sit down with the GM and them. Or if you're the GM, sit down with the players. Find a place that you guys feel comfortable, everybody meeting at. Make an environment that's very inviting. Try to work with each other despite the differences in personality. Try not to rub on each other or convert each other to your way of thinking. It's not how it works. We're individuals. We're all adults. Respect each other a little bit in that way, okay? And try to find ways to bring the different personality types together in such a way that makes it fun for everybody. That's it. Hopefully, Chaotic, I helped you on this one. I'm trying to go there and give you that kind of thing on finding it, and find out what you like. Do you like a more storytelling system? Do you like a mechanic system? Do you like something in between? And you guys got to find out what type of system works for you and brings out the best in you as a player and as a GM. So look at that as well. All right, about 27, 28 minutes. Hoping it works out for everybody. Hope you keep coming back. Thank you so much to you subscribers. Love you guys to death. And Rick out for GM2.